Hi all, and welcome to this episode of What Cause Inspires You. I'm your host, Nitya Kubareddy, and today I have with me Jiya Gupta. Alicia Gupta, my friend and fellow Humanity Rising ambassador, launched the What Cause Inspires You podcast as a way for students to share the service they are doing in their communities. We encourage youth who are making a change to improve the world to speak up about their stories and become a leader in the movement. Jiya is currently a sophomore at Mission San Jose High School. Outside of school, she loves playing badminton, debating, and conducting personal finance classes. It's exciting to have you here today, Jiya. Thank you for joining us, and I'm sure everyone listening is ready to learn more about your organization and future ambitions. So let's get started. What is the purpose of your organization, and what have you done so far to fulfill this purpose?
Yeah, so firstly, thank you so much for having me. I think this podcast is a great way that we can all look at different accomplishments of today's youth. So onto your question, the purpose of my finance classes is to educate today's youth about necessary personal finance concepts and skills. I started my organization a little more than 3 years ago and started reaching out to a few tutoring centers, such as Berkeley Academy and Sunshine Kids, to conduct 8 weekly 1-hour classes for students typically in grades 5 through 9. And in these classes, I cover basic financial topics such as currency, earning money, saving, spending, etc. So my goal for these classes is to educate both students about finance to help them later on in their lives, but also spark a financial interest within students to inspire them to take financial courses later on when they grow up. So far, I've taught about 8 different sessions, and details on those sessions can also be found in the past classes section of my website.
So, what inspired you to start your organization?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, while I was researching, I found shocking statistics such as 38% of Americans are struggling with debt-related problems, and 2/3 of Americans can't pass a basic financial literacy test. So these statistics really show how much America is lacking in terms of personal finance knowledge. So after further researching, I found that these problems can easily be avoided with right financial education earlier in life. So yeah, I thought it was really those statistics that inspired me to start teaching finance classes.
Yeah, I think I did not know those statistics before, and they're definitely very surprising. And finance is also one of the things you don't really learn in school, which could be really useful to learn at a younger age because you need to know how to manage that when you get older. And I think it's awesome that you're trying to teach this to people for them to be able, because it's very useful. So it would be great for them to know these kind of things. So what type of financial content do you cover with young students, and how do you help them retain this information?
Yeah, so in my classes, I cover the basics of personal finance, with the general topics being currency, earning money, spending, saving, donating, investing, and taxes. I also go over some advanced topics such as venture capital and income brackets. So moving on to the second part of your question, to make sure that students enjoy my classes and retain the content, I use a variety of techniques. Firstly, I make sure to use slides that I teach from I limit them in text and have a lot of pictures. I also make sure to add humor to the slides. And after every topic, I provide students with review activities such as crosswords and word searches. And I also make activities competitive with prizes to incentivize students to retain as much information as they can. I also encourage students to discuss class topics with their parents. And lastly, I give them homework that, again, discusses topics with their parents and conducting research on prompts such as which credit card provides the most cash back. The homework also helps them build the skill of researching to help find answers on their own.
I think it's awesome that you're able to really use interactive activities, like you said, crosswords and competitive prizes and things. I think that really does incentivize people, especially when the students are younger, and they'll probably remember it for longer too if they have that kind of competitive side to it. So how does feedback from your website like this make you feel?
Yeah, so this feedback definitely shows that students are both enjoying and learning a lot from my classes. And it really inspires me to expand my classes to more students and try to make an impact on many more of their lives. I think without this feedback as a motivation, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have gotten.
Yeah, I think it's great that you have this on your website as well, because it really shows that it's a lot of great feedback that you're getting, both from kids and parents, which shows that they're probably learning while also enjoying everything that you're teaching them, which is really a great way to help them learn about finance. So, in what way did COVID-19 affect your organization, and what adjustments did you make to your classes?
Yeah, so the COVID-19 pandemic was definitely a big obstacle for me because I couldn't directly interact with students face to face or do any of the games and activities I usually do. But I think the pandemic actually gave me an opportunity to learn new things or new ways of teaching, such as using a review Kahoot, and even new ways of marketing, which will definitely help my classes when we go back to in person. I guess get better. So I was also able to reach students from many different cities because the classes were held via Zoom. And so I think I was able to teach a lot more students from places that I hadn't even thought I'd be teaching before. So yeah, I definitely think the COVID-19 pandemic improved my classes.
Yeah, I think it's great that you were able to use it as an opportunity to expand your classes to other places, and also that you were able to find new methods of teaching that are working well for you. I think that's awesome. So, what initiatives or programs are you currently working on within your organization?
Yeah, so currently I'm looking to add pre-recorded videos of my material to bigger platforms where students can watch the videos and complete review activities at their own convenience. So some of the platforms I'm considering include Khan Academy and Udemy. I'm also investigating the possibility of adding a personal finance badge on the Girl Scout and Boy Scout activity. I'm also looking to expand the team with like-minded individuals who are willing to work with me to educate more students on personal finance so the organization can expand to a bigger scale and impact a lot more students.
I think those are all really great ways to expand. And like you mentioned about Girl Scout and Boy Scout patches, things like that, I think they'll really reach a lot of people because you are going through another organization and kind of helping them learn about finance with your organization, which is great. So, what future do you see for your finance classes?
Yeah, so as stated above, I'm hoping to change my material into an asynchronous version so I can work on creating different levels instead of teaching the same material to different students. I'm also working on creating a team. As of right now, I just have a few friends that are working with me, but I want to expand that into a larger team that can both teach in different locations that I haven't touched and work with me to expand my classes through various organizations.
Yeah, so definitely if anyone is in the audience is interested in working with Gia, you should reach out to her. And what can the audience members do to help you expand your initiative?
Yeah, so to all of the audience members that are interested in teaching classes, if you have or if you want to work with me, I'll put a chat or put a link in the chat. So definitely fill that out. And after you fill that out, I'll send you an email regarding the details. But from anything to teaching in different locations to helping me expand, any help is, beneficial. And so, yeah, if anyone is interested, I would love if you could reach out to me.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to attach that link in our YouTube description as well for anyone to have. And everyone feel free to message Gia if you guys have any questions. Her email is gia0606@gmail.com. Thank you for sharing and showing the ways that you've involved yourself in your communities and the ways that we and the audience can as well. If you have any general questions about the What Cause Inspires You podcast series, are interested in applying as a student or expert speaker, or want to volunteer, email aliciagupta2020@gmail.com or info@humanityrising.org. Be sure to follow our Instagram and Facebook pages to stay updated on our scholarship opportunities, future podcasts, and events at humanity.rising and at What Cause Inspires You. Thank you so much, Gia, for talking to us today. It was great to hear about you and your organization.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you again for next week's podcast.